guys, so today's video is going to be a chit chat get ready with me using a bunch of Beauty Bakery products. I have quite a few products that I've ordered recently from the website, and I really want to feature these products in a video. I don't even remember the last time I actually used the Beauty Bakery palette that I own, which is the Proof is in the Puddin' eyeshadow palette. This is my only eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bakery, and I really want to feature a bunch of their products in this video because I really just love the concept of this brand, and I just placed a recent order on their website, and it already came yesterday, and I've only tried one thing out so far, so this video is for me to try out those products today in the video and to let you guys know my thoughts on them. So I already primed my eyes, so I'm just going to set them real quick with my Marc Jacobs powder. I'm still trying to use up this duo, so I've just been using this powder like every day to set my primer. So we are going to jump into the palette in a second. And I also looked back on my videos of using this palette, and I've only used it twice on my channel, so I was like, I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to use the palette since I'm doing a video that is focusing on this brand. So let's jump into the eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use a different eyeshadow on the lid than I've used in my previous videos with this palette because I've only used the middle shade, and I'm like, I need to use something else. So I'm going to play with some of the darker colors today. I'm still going to be doing relatively a neutral look, but I'm going to be using some of the darker shades, and I wanted to wear something that's a little bit lighter, and so I decided to wear my Lucky peplum shirt because it's actually been really warm this week, and usually for me, I don't put my sweaters away until like the beginning of April, but I mean, I don't put them away, I just stop wearing them because obviously it's too warm to wear them. But it's been like 50 degrees this whole week, so I haven't really been wanting to wear a sweater to work because it just gets me too hot. So anyway, I'm going to jump into one of the neutral shades. So I'm just going to use Bread Pudding, and I'm going to use that on my crease. I kind of wanted to start with a transition shade. Sorry, I literally tripped on my fucking power cord for my laptop, so had to pause the video. So anyway, the first shade I'm going to be going into is this shade Firefly right here. I'm just using this as a transition shade because I need to use up this shade. So I'm trying to use it as much as possible. I don't know why my dogs are barking right now. They bark at everything outside, so I don't know if my mom is home or my dad is home, but they bark anytime somebody comes home. So if you hear barking dogs, that's usually why they're barking. So I'm just going to throw this in my crease. So I haven't really been getting the best sleep lately. I don't know what it is. I think my body has gotten too used to a bad schedule again, and I just haven't been going to sleep at the same time. I haven't really been giving myself a chance to unwind last night. Like, last night, I stayed off my computer in my room, but I did a bunch of other things that I shouldn't have been doing before I go to sleep. Like, I was eating some cookies because my mom baked some cookies, and honestly, like, it really sucks that I can't really eat them as much anymore because I used to eat dessert every night, and it really would not bother me to go to sleep. And now it's like the complete opposite. I don't know what it is. I just can't get comfortable at night. I can only sleep in one position. I can't sleep on my back, and I cannot sleep on my stomach. I have to sleep on my side with my arms up. If my arms are down, it feels like my arms are not getting enough blood. And I feel like all the blood just rushes to my fingertips, and it feels like they're so limp that I can only sleep like this. And then my other hand has to be underneath my pillow. I don't know why. So I'm just going to take a Unison tonight so I can just pass out. So anyway, I'm going to jump into that shade I said before, which is the shade Bread Pudding. Do I want to use the yellow first or no, I want to use the orange in my crease a little bit. So we're going to use bread pudding first. And I'm going to take that and put that in my crease. So I did touch on this palette back in my top palettes, or counting down how many eyeshadow palettes I got in 2019. And this was basically the first palette that I had picked up in 2019, I think, besides the Milani one. I think the Milani one might have been the first one. I think this one was the second one. But I really, really wanted to try their eyeshadow formula because I enjoyed their cheek formula so much from the blush palette that I picked up. And actually, they don't even have that palette on the website anymore. But I wanted to try more highlighters. I wanted to try more powder products from them, because I just thought that their powder formula was so nice. And these eyeshadows blend so nicely, and they're so soft, and they just blend out really beautifully on the eyes. So I really wanted to use it and feature it again on my channel. So now I'm going to jump into the shade Mango Pudding, which is that orangey shade. I'll show it to you in a second. I just need to get moving on my eyeshadow because I only have like a half hour to get ready for work. I was hoping to sit down to film sooner, but you know, that never happens with me. So I'm just using that orangey Mango Pudding shade, which is such a cute name. And I'm using that just to warm up the crease more and just add a little bit of definition. And I really like how that looks. So I'm just going to use that, which was this shade right here. I love how most of the shades are called something pudding. But I used that orangey shade, which was right here. Now I'm going to jump into Warm Cocoa on the outer corners. Because basically this palette, like I said, you don't really need to jump into another palette unless you want like a lighter transition shade. But even those shades work as a transition shade as well, so you don't really need them. So I'm going to use this on the outer corners. And these are usually the shades I use anyway in my crease when I use this palette, because this palette is not like, you know, too out there. Obviously it's a neutral palette, but I just find you can do, I always like my look when I use this palette, you know, like it's just simple. I don't really have to think about like what I'm gonna do with this palette. I just know what I want to do. Like even some neutral palettes, like I'll do the same look over and over and over again. And with this one, I find that I really do enjoy using a different shade every time I use this palette. And it's just an easy palette to use. I really love it. So I'm torn on which lid shade I want to use. I don't want to use Spiced Caramel, obviously. I want to use one of the darker shimmers. Okay. I still feel like these shades are never dark enough for me. Like the fact that this shade might not be dark enough for me on the outer corners, it might not be dark enough for someone who's darker than me. So just keep that in mind. But I just received my order from Beautybakerie yesterday, so I really wanted to use that stuff yesterday for work, but my boss ended up giving me the night off, so I wasn't able to try that stuff out. Okay, I feel like all the glitter glue I just put on literally just ended up on my lashes, so let's try and actually get it on my lid. So I'm really excited to try the products today. Because I haven't tried new products in a while. I mean, I did buy the Bite Beauty Foundation, and I did get the Storybook Cosmetics palette from Marley, but you know, for some reason, the makeup addict in me is always itching to try new products because that's how we are. But there's also a lot of great brands out there that I want to give a try. So that's why I wanted to try more stuff from Beautybakerie, why I want to try stuff from Give Me Glow. because they're all really brands that I haven't tried certain products from before. I've never tried Give Me Glow before, so I'm really, really excited to try out their products. So, I'm torn between using the shade Chia Pudding or Almond Jelly. But I feel like Chia Pudding goes with more what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to take that shade. It's like a really pretty bronze, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. Well, now they're barking because my brother's walking them, so. And that's such a gorgeous shade. We're going to skip over other things in this video and just feature the Beautybakerie products, but since I'm using the palette for my whole eyeshadow look, I really just don't want to skip over this part. So yeah, it kind of prevented me from using like the palette I wanted to use yesterday because I really wanted to use my So Jaded palette yesterday and then use this palette today. Or I was going to use this yesterday and use my So Jaded palette today, but I decided to use quite a few neutral palettes that I haven't used in a while. So I really have just been rotating as many eyeshadow palettes as I possibly can. Because I still have too many eyeshadow palettes, and the eyeshadow palettes I want to add to my collection just makes it more crazy. But I am really planning on decluttering all my Super Shock shadows and selling a few palettes. So I think I'll feel better to try new palettes once I do that. So, okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get with that. And then for the brow bone, I'm just going to throw on that shade Rice Pudding, which is the matte brow bone highlight, and I'm going to put that on my brow bone. So that's pretty much the eyes for now. We'll come back to them when we do my face. I'm just going to darken up the crease a little bit more. Actually, they really don't need too much, but I'm just going to take a little bit. These actually do stay pretty pigmented, which I can appreciate. Just want to put a little bit more of that outer corner shade right there. I think it looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to just grab my beauty sponge and we'll do the face. Okay, so now I'm just going to prime my face. Spray my face with my MAC Prep and Prime. I love this stuff. I really need to get the full bottle soon. And then for primer, I'm just going to jump into a primer that I know I love with basically all my foundations. So I'm just going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I had a small sample of this and I rediscovered it, but I haven't been using it too much because I mostly use the Soap and Glory one or the e.l.f. one, so I want to whip this out and use it again. It's a really good primer, so. Alright, and now for the fun part. I just want to grab another tissue. So now I'm going to be finally trying out the new Beautybakerie foundation, and this is the Beautybakerie Insta-Bake Aqua Glass Foundation, and I got the lightest shade, which is 359C. It says it on the top, right there. You probably can't even see it. I don't even know why I try. It says, inspired by the elegance and minimalistic approach to beauty that Japan is known for, this lightweight vegan foundation is a force to be reckoned with. Rightfully named Insta-Bake, this full coverage formula effortlessly covers anything left in its wake. Delivering extraordinary performance, it applies smoothly like a layer of frosting. So I am very excited to try it. It sounds like it has like a whipped kind of formula. So I'm excited. I love whipped kind of foundation. So I haven't tried a whipped kind of foundation in a while. I'm not sure if you're supposed to shake it, but most foundations you're supposed to shake anyway, so. Okay, so I believe it just, oh, I thought it twisted up. I guess you just pump it. Okay, let's see. I'm not really sure how much you're supposed to use. So I'm just gonna pump. I think that should be enough. Probably too much, but let's try it out. I'm just going to mix it on my hand a little bit, and it probably has a pretty full coverage. Probably pumped out way too much, but whatever. This kind of already reminds me of the formula of the L'Oreal True Match. Feels very similar to that. So let's see if I like it. Felt like it had a little bit of beads in it, so I might have to like shake it up more. I feel like the product was getting a little bit separated. All right, so let's see how this looks. It feels very a lot more lightweight than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a really thick foundation, but I'm excited to try it. Ooh, I like the coverage a lot already. Ooh, this is nice. I do like the coverage already. Hopefully it doesn't dry too quickly. I probably should have put it on sparingly, but I should be able to blend it out fast enough that it shouldn't really dry right away, but it blends out really nice too. And it doesn't feel too dry on my skin. All right, let's blend it out on my nose before it dries. Okay, so I do notice it is a little bit dry on my nose, but not too bad. I feel like I probably should have applied it sparingly. I kind of do that sometimes with foundations that I don't know like if they're gonna dry right away. Like that was my mistake when I had tried the Fenty Beauty foundation for the first time. I was like, let me apply it like sparingly and apply it to like sections of my face rather than my whole face. But this one definitely I like more already than that one. You know, than the original Fenty Beauty matte foundation. So I do like how it looks. It does give really nice coverage. Okay. And then I wanted to use a concealer I love as well. So I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. And then we're going to try out another really fun product I am so excited to try. Because I actually finished my Thrive powder finally. I finished that like last week already. But I did get a new setting powder and I'm really excited to try it. This is a really hyped up powder, so I hope I like it. I don't love how it's blending out on my chin area with the concealer. I found that that area was kind of a little difficult to blend before, but it should play nice. Alright, I definitely don't need as much as I had put on originally, so I should keep that in mind as well. That this is a pretty full coverage foundation. But it does feel really nice on the skin. I don't know why they call it aqua glass. I don't really feel it to be super hydrating. So, but it looks good so far. I like it. So, now I'm just going to apply it underneath my eyes. The concealer. I feel like I need to conceal these eye bags lately because sleep is for not me. So I've been watching more Outlander, and I'm actually already in the middle of season 2 because I've been kind of getting into the show a lot more. I've been kind of just wanting to watch it more because I feel like it's more intriguing now, and they leave you on like a cliffhanger that like you have to watch the next episode. So I think I enjoy this season more than the first one, and it like makes me intrigued to see what happens. So I like it so far. And there's only 13 episodes in every season now. The first season was the longest. So I think it's not going to take me as long to get through now. Okay, so now we're going to try out this powder right here. So this is the Beautybakerie Flour Setting Powder. And so many people talk about this powder. All right, my face is feeling pretty dry though. So I am not going to bake with this because I already feel like my face is very dry from that foundation. And I did hydrate my skin first. So we're going to just jump into this guy. Again, I'm not going to bake with it. I just want to set my face very quickly so my concealer doesn't crease. So I'm just going to take what's in the cap and then I'll talk about it in a second. Ooh, that is nice. Oh, I like that. Ooh, this is very smooth. Ooh, it does feel like flour. It honestly feels like flour. Wow, I was about to say like fucking flour. Like, calm down, Caitlin. Oh my God, this is really nice. Okay, okay. I mean, I was sure that this powder is raved about for a reason. It does do a really nice job of setting your face. So I'm just going to set my T-zone, which is what I usually do with loose powders, or I find it to be very dry on my face. The only powder I really can use where it's not really too dry is the Thrive one. So this powder, it literally comes in the cutest packaging. Like, how cute is this with the, I just want to spray my face. My face is like really dry right now. So let's just add some hydration back. So this powder comes in this adorable packaging. Like, it comes inside here and you take it out and it just, it's called the Beautybakerie Flour Powder. And I think that's so adorable. Like, it says better not bitter setting powder. And then it says for a natural look baked beat, try our lightweight matte flour setting powder. Damn, I should have bought that because that's how I usually like my powder. But this is great too. Like, as long as I just use it to set like I usually do. Our flour powder can be applied in 2 ways. Using a brush, you can lightly dust your entire face for a full matte look. 2, with gentle pressure, use a makeup sponge to apply the flour to your T-zone to absorb excess oil. Okay. Well, I think it looks fine with a brush, so I'm not really going to worry about it. And yeah, okay. So now I'm going to set my face. I'm just going to use my Charlotte Tilbury powder, but I'm going to skip over that. But so far, I really do enjoy this. I got the translucent one. So I've been wanting to try this for a really long time, and I think that it's adorable. I want to keep it in the packaging, though, just so I don't lose the packaging. I just think it's so cute. So I'm going to do my mascara and everything, and then we'll come back and finish off the face with the rest of the products. Okay, so I went ahead and added my mascara and everything. I went and added the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. Then I went in with the CoverGirl mascara that I love. And then I just went in with my Maybelline liner on the waterline. And then I used my Lash Discovery by Maybelline on the lower lashes. So now we're just going to apply an inner corner shade. So I'm just going to use the shade Butterscotch, which is right here. And I'm going to apply that to my inner corners. I do find that my under eyes are already creasing. I have like the creasiest under eyes in existence, so maybe I should try baking with this the next time I use it. I'm probably going to bring this along with this foundation to Connecticut tomorrow because I'm actually going to visit Liz tomorrow. Why is there crap in my eyes already? I don't know why I always get eye goo in my eyes every time I film or every time I do my makeup. It's like the most annoying thing in the world. There we go. Just want to. The shade is so pretty though. Okay, so that is really pretty. I do really like the foundation though. I think it looks really good so far. I'm not sure about the powder though. I probably should have used it the way that they say to, but you know. Yeah, so now I'm just going to bronze my face with my ColourPop bronzer. This is the bronzer I'm still trying to hit pan on, so I've just been using it a ton. It's like the never-ending bronzer, so I feel like I can never apply my bronzer properly though, no matter how hard I try. It's like still ends up being like a blotchy mess. So, yeah. Okay. I didn't grab a lip liner either, so I'm just batting 1,000 again today. So for my blush, I'm going to jump into the blush palette that I have from Beautybakerie, and this is the Scoops Elise blush palette. And then for the blush that I'm going to use, I'm going to jump into the shade Creme Brulee, which is this shade right here. I love this blush, and these are so pigmented, you guys. I mean, I don't think you can get these anymore. I think that these were on Ulta. I don't remember. I'm just going to apply that shade, but you literally only need one dip into the palette, and that's basically it. And they're so pigmented. So I'm just going to apply that. I need a tiny bit more just to build it up. That is just so stunning. But seriously, they are like really pigmented, so you don't really need too much at all. And I did grab a Beautybakerie Lippy, but I'm not really sure if it goes with the look, but I think it should be fine. Alright, and then and you guys know I love this highlight, beignet, I was going to say. It's so stunning, but I don't think you can get this anymore on Beautybakerie, but if you guys see this, then you should definitely get it. It's so beautiful. The blushes are amazing, and the highlight in here is stunning, but the highlight that I'm going to use today is out of a different palette, which is another one from Beautybakerie. And this is the Milk and Honey palette. Look how cute this packaging is. This comes out of here like it's the honeycomb. Oh my god. It just slides out like this. How cute is that? I think it's adorable. And I'm going to be jumping into one of the highlights in here. So I'm going to try this shade on its own, which is called Be Sweet. I tried Spoiler Alert yesterday. It was so stunning. But I kind of want to stick with like an orangey look today. But I also really want to try this highlight by itself. So I'm just going to take a little bit and then I'm going to apply it. I'm thinking it's just going to be like kind of a champagne-y kind of shade. But I've been finding that these are a little bit more difficult to get on the brush. They're just a tiny bit chalky for some reason. I don't know why. But I just find that the product doesn't really pick up that well on my brush. Kind of like have to swirl it around and like dig into it. Okay, that's better. But since I loved beignet so much, I really wanted to try other highlights. That's pretty, but I feel like it's still not pigmented enough. They just seem to be a bit dry. But I know Kathleen Lights talked about this highlighting palette and she said it was really pretty, so I really wanted to try it. And also, since again I love beignet so much, I wanted to try other highlights from them. See, I find when you build it up, then it's like really pretty, but I wish it was like that when I first put it on, but it is really nice on the skin. I do find it's a bit dry. I'm going to add a little bit of that Spoiler Alert shade on top. See if that helps a little bit. Because I found that I had to build that shade up as well. Even though I didn't really put it on too much powder yesterday. I just used concealer yesterday, so I was kind of surprised that it didn't really build up as well. But that's pretty. It just still looks very powdery, but it's fine. Okay, and now I'm just going to spray my face and do my eyebrows really quick. Okay, so now I'm going to do the lips. I don't know if this is too pink for this look. Whatever, I'm going to do it. Because I use the other lippy that I have from Beautybakerie like all the time. The little small one. So I wanted to try a different shade today. And I decluttered the other lippy that I had from them. Because that was literally such a difficult shade to apply. So I'm using the Essence lip liner. And this is the shade Lost in Love. I love this color. Okay, and then for the lips, I'm going to use the Beautybakerie Lip Whip in the shade Versailles. I actually do enjoy this one. And I think that it'll be a pretty shade. Yeah, I like that. I like this shade because it's more like Your Lips But Better, more than like a super pink shade. Alright, so I'm going to finish this up off camera and then I have to get to work. So I will show you guys the final look later, but I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I really like how it turned out, so I will show you guys the look later. I just really have to go to work. So bye. Hey you guys, so I just got home from work, so I just wanted to show you guys what the look actually looked like. So here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So I just wanted to give you guys some thoughts on the products that I tried today, which is obviously the foundation and the setting powder. The foundation I actually really did like. I think that it stayed on my skin really nicely, and it still looks really good, especially on camera. I think it looks great. But it did hold up pretty nicely. I don't really mind if it started wearing off a little bit because I do like it. I do like how this foundation looks. I think it's a good foundation to wear out. And I like it. I think it did a nice job. I think it is a bit drying though around my forehead and around my T-zone. But I do like how it looks on my skin. But I do feel like it's slightly dry. So I probably will just apply less next time, but I do like the foundation. So I'm pretty much used to that with my skin by this point because my skin is very dry. So, but with the setting powder, the flower setting powder, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Everywhere that I applied it, it is creasing quite a bit. I don't know if that's the foundation or if it's the powder, but I don't love how it looks underneath my eyes either, because it is settling into my wrinkles there. I don't know if you could see that, but I did notice that shortly after I applied it, and this foundation is also kind of settling here and around my nose area, but I still like how the foundation looks. I don't know if it's the powder on why it's creasing. I am going to try this with baking it tomorrow. But I still enjoy my Thrive powder more, but I like this, so I don't really mind it too much. I really forgot how much this eyeshadow palette really stays true to the pigment. And it also doesn't transfer really on the lid shade. It's such a good palette and it has such a good formula. So I know I've had this for a really long time, but I forgot how good the formula actually is. I don't really experience that with too many lid shades or too many palettes with shimmers that stay on that nicely on the lid. And it really didn't transfer too much at all. So that's a really, really good sign. I love this palette. And then as far as this palette goes, I do like it, but at the same time, I do feel like it is drier in formula than the Scoops Elise palette, which you guys know I love this blush palette. The blush stayed on beautifully, so I love this, and I love the highlight in here. But with these, I find that these are drier in formula, but it still shows up on my cheeks. It's still pretty reflective, so I do like it. I just feel like it has a drier formula. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this Beauty Bakery Get Ready With Me, and I hope that you guys enjoyed me featuring more of their products on my channel. I just love the concept of the brand. And then as far as the lipstick goes, these aren't my favorite liquid lipsticks. I've told you guys this before about these. As you can see, it's very wrinkly, but it does stay on the lips. But I do feel like my lips are already getting dried out at this point. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It did last a decent amount of time around my nose area and around here. So this is a first impressions on this foundation, and I do like it on my skin. I think I am going to bring it with me to Connecticut tomorrow. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I'm going to eat some dinner with my brother now because we both ended up getting back home at the same time. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!